Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of En-Syte. I'm your host, Steven, joined by two of my favorite people, Dre, Jen Dog. What's good?
Man, what's cracking, whacking, baby? What's going on with you, fam?
And another day.
Mhm.
That's all I'm going to say.
And do you see how
You're
calm
live
she
on Facebook? I mean, on YouTube?
Huh?
We're live on YouTube.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube. Yes, we are. When I start with that intro, that means we live on YouTube.
Yeah, we there. We in the house.
I don't see
We
it.
rolling.
You know,
You trying to find us?
Yes.
Go to the page and click the button.
Okay, I see it now.
Click the button. You click the button. That's all you got to do. Click
You
the button.
trying to find us?
She's trying to find us on the internet right now, so we gonna take a minute because she got to
I
find.
found it.
She's trying to find
Oh, we got
herself
an
on the internet while she on the internet.
Right.
So let that sink in your head. Let that sink in your heads for a minute. Try and find yourself on the internet while being on the internet at the same time. Just fun.
Stop hating, Stephen.
I'm never that. Never hater. I just instigate shit a lot. Okay. Oh man. So before we get into the nitty gritty of today's actual topic, we want to finish off with what we was talking about with yesterday. For those of you who weren't with us yesterday, we talked about the touchy conversations that you would have with your significant other, and it was one that we wanted to get into. And it's basically this is Jen's selection of touchy things. So we're going to talk about this for a little bit before we get into the nitty gritty of today's actual episode. So Jen, tell us what we was finishing off with.
So one of the touchy topics that I think is touchy is finances in a relationship or marriage, and whether or not you should combine them or keep them separate. I, and along with several of my friends who are married, have opted to keep their finances separate. And then what they'll do is that, if they're pitching in both on certain financial aspects of the home, then they'll have a joint account and they'll just add money to that account. But I agree with that because, first of all, I would say this, like if you're in a marriage, people change, right? And you could be in a marriage where someone has all of a sudden become financially irresponsible, whether it's they're gambling or they're shopping a lot or they have a drinking problem or whatever. I'm actually going to share this. When I was married, my ex-husband, we started out with the joint account and then he had some behavioral issues. And the next day I had a different account. I had my own account because I just couldn't trust him anymore. And I think that's probably part of what that is for me, the whole trusting thing when it comes to finances. But I also think that people shouldn't just blindly allow someone else to be in charge.
Responsible for the money. Got you.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
When it comes to your
I was watching something. It was an old podcast. I don't know exactly whom it was. And they said that it's best to have three accounts. One account for yourself, one account for the house, and the third account is that y'all build upon for like vacations and things that y'all may want to do together. Hey, what's up, Carmen? How you doing, sweetie? I know it's been a minute.
Hi, Carmen.
Yeah, and that way that you, first of all, you're paying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The house is being taken care of, and then when you want to do a trip or you want something that's going on, or you need like joint Christmas gifts or joint gifts to someone else, that money is always right there. That you not have to dig into somebody else's pocket. That you have it right there. And I totally do agree with that because a lot of times I will go. I got a story right quick. I have friends. Okay. The gentleman wasn't making a lot of money. He contributed, but it wasn't a lot. But the female was a nurse. And so she bringing that major grip. And every time you look up, it was that, the account was very, very low because he constantly grabs from it.
Mm.
And then once when they were about to get ready and once they separated, he tried to do a money grab, but when he got there, she already took all the money out. And he's calling me like, yo, man, she done took all the money out the account. I ain't got no money. I said, so okay, majority of the money, who money was it the majority of that money in there? It was ours. I said, no. Who was the one that was placing the majority of the money in there? And he was like, she was. I said, okay, then so how much money did you have in your account? How much money did you originally put into account? He was like, well, I think I had like $100 left, whatever. But it was over 5,000, blah, 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 blah. I need to do this, I need to do that. I said, hold on. I called her. She jailed him $100 that was left there of his money that was in your account.
Mm.
That was your contribution to it.
Mm.
The rest was mine. So like Russell just said, financial trust is very tricky. You
It is.
cannot put you cannot put yourself blindly and let someone else hold on to the money that you guys are making.
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen people who were very responsible at one point in time become crackheads,
Mm.
whole out crackheads. So how can you? I mean, so I'm supposed to continue to allow you to make us desolate because you got to have it?
Yeah. And it's embarrassing when you have a joint account, you're going to try to purchase something. You think it's money in the account
Mhm.
and there's nothing in there because your significant other is financially irresponsible.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
Mm. I have a couple friends again where yeah they have the three accounts, but it's his, hers, and then a joint account.
Mhm. Yeah. Most of that.
Mhm. Which I don't see anything wrong with. I mean, having the three accounts, having the three accounts is basically beneficial because then you can't blame anybody but yourself if the money is missing from your own account. And then if you're not supposed to touch that one third account, that joint account, you're not supposed to be touching it. Leave it be, leave it alone until it's actually
Now
time to touch it.
what what about um asking to make purchases for certain things? What do you all think about that in a relationship?
I'm gonna put it like this. Now, if we got a joint account and she putting in majority of the money, unless it's supposed to be a surprise for her and ain't gonna be an expensive surprise, I'm asking. I don't care. I'm asking. If especially if she putting in majority of the money, yeah, I may be putting in like maybe two, three, $400 here and there. But if she putting in six, seven, eight, close to $1,000, oh, I'm asking. I'm asking about purchases. I'm like, hey, babe, hey, I see these shoes that I want. They 89.99. It's okay if I get them. They 89.99. These shoes don't be normally this low, but can I get them? Boom. Ask if she say no, okay, can't get them. She said yes. Boom, I got me a new pair of kicks. We good. We good.
I'm not asking for nothing unless it's like we're making the unless it's like okay we need to get our floors redone and the roof redone or something like that. Other than that, I'm not.
We know all the money going in that relationship. We know the
No,
money right there.
I'm not financially irresponsible though. But I'm not about to ask, can I buy a pair of shoes? So Russell, he said, "What about people who borrow money behind your back?"
now,
I mean,
now that one right there. What up, brother Nate? What up? What up? Russell says, "Out of respect, he'll ask." Now, I would like to know because normally when you borrowing money from somebody, you normally have to ask. But if you borrowing behind somebody's back, isn't that considered? Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but to me that sounds like stealing. If you borrowing behind somebody's back,
so I'm gonna. So we might have to ask him to like expound a little bit on this question. So is it like one of the spouses going into? So let's say the husband's going into the wife's account and taking money out. Is that what you're saying, Russell?
Or you're saying that he's sitting up there calling his boy and asking to borrow some money from his boy.
mm, But he said
What's
that's
going on, brother
yeah,
Nate? What's going on, fam?
but that's the thing. He's saying behind your back, so that means he ain't even asking. That means you don't even know about it.
Right.
So
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's
Nate,
what I'm kind of confused on right there.
all right. So Nate, if you just coming in, we're talking about this is a continuation of yesterday's conversation, touchy subjects between the male and the female, or between partners, and now we talking about the financial aspects of the touchy situation.
Mm-hmm.
Touchy conversations that one has. So that's where we at right now. It's Carmen. Are you still with us, Carmen?
And, we got 4 people. It's 2 of them, y'all.
Yeah, two of us.
Oh well, yeah,
You,
2 of them.
there's
Okay,
me and
2.
G, and I know it's 2. And then we got 2 other people. I don't know exactly whom it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
As
Oh,
Nate.
and the third party.
Honestly think sometimes YouTube doesn't show every viewer that pops up on here. I mean, it shows like people, but it doesn't show everybody who's probably watching. So it could be more, it could be less. I'm not even 100% sure. Okay,
So,
but
so
as
he said a third party.
mm,
So like mother-in-law or brother or sisters asking for money, and we're taking money out of our account to give it to them.
okay. Yeah, we know it. We know it don't match the promo. That's why we letting people know if y'all would have got here when we started, then maybe y'all to get an understanding of what's going on. So don't blame us about the miscommunication between what's on the promo thumbnail and what you're listening to now. We're gonna get to the
No, we coming back.
we gonna come with that one.
One.
We gonna come with that one. And that one I don't care. I'm having fun with that one. I'm having fun with this one. But okay. So Russell said as in third parties. So
Yeah. I would have I don't know.
I feel uneasy about that because in my mind that feel like it's stealing.
Yeah. No, but it seems like maybe, and I'm just gonna infer here that maybe one of the spouses took money out of the account to give to somebody else because they asked to borrow it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, without them knowing.
Without them knowing. So that's a whole new level.
Yeah. It's like I know y'all slicing up different ways in my brain is registering it the way y'all slicing it, but in my mind it still sound like stealing. It still sound like stealing. I'm trying to grasp everybody's individual concept on what it is to borrow money behind your back. But my focal finishing point is stealing.
I'm just stuck with the stealing. Huh?
Yeah, I'm just stuck on stealing. That's just what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. I say don't do it. Yeah. I think that's a total thing.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jennifer. I apologize.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I wouldn't, if a family member or a friend came to me to borrow money, like I would have that conversation with my partner before making the decision on that.
Yeah.
But to buy shoes, no.
I mean, if that's the biggest thing, you have to have conversations regarding it, because it's still. Hold on, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying what Russell was putting. Like it was basically what I said. Like
you ask a family for help in a financial situation that your partner doesn't know about.
Okay. Oh,
ooh,
that's
you would.
That's
deep.
Okay. Now you see, now the stealing aspect is gone. The stealing aspect is gone.
That's the secret.
Okay, so
if my partner is struggling financially and I don't know about it,
that means I'm not paying attention to what's going on in the house as well.
That's a problem.
No. From what he said, like, wait. Oh, you asked for help. Okay, I read it backwards.
That your partner doesn't know about.
Oh yeah.
You have a serious breakdown in communication. Yeah. Have a serious breakdown in your relationship.
Trust issues.
I'm sorry?
I said, and trust issues.
Mm-hmm. But my thing is this: what kind of situation can you hide well enough from your partner to borrow money from somebody else?
Do you watch Lifetime?
Not no more now. No, because everybody die in Lifetime. Everybody dies in Lifetime.
They come up with a lot of stories. Those stories come from somewhere.
Yeah, in every story, somebody dies.
In every story, a man is always wrong.
In one of my old relationships, all she watched was Lifetime. So all I got to do was sit there and watch Lifetime. And at the end of the movie, somebody always died. That was just
Mhm.
annoying as hell. It was like I'm sitting there watching like, yeah, he the one gonna die. Like, what you talking about? He gonna die at the end of the movie. Watch. All of a sudden, here come an hour later. Told you.
Yeah, but you can hide money, like you can hide financial situations. People do it all the time. That was why I brought that up.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I mean, yeah, I get that, but like, but for you to ask a family member and your partner don't know about it, that's
That's heavy.
that's very, like I said, after that, after reading that, that ain't even stealing no more. I see what you mean. Okay, so before we get too long on into this one, because I think we can get on this one like for probably the duration of this entire episode. Because according to Brother Nate, what we talking about don't match the promo. So let's get into what the promo was all about. So I'm pretty sure, as y'all know, y'all done seen the promo, y'all done seen the thumbnail. Um, we talking about a certain aspect in the life of an individual. It's in some individuals, and we really want to know, is this really a thing? And this is one that Jen suggested as we was trying to find something to talk about today. We really want to know, and I really want to know, is celibacy really a thing?
So why is it a thing?
Why is it a thing? Is it a thing? Why is it a thing? I need to change the thumbnail thing. Okay, so why is it a thing? I need to change the title of it. I'll change that I'll change that later. I ain't gonna do it now. I'll change it later. But why is celibacy a thing? Like, I'm over
How
here
about
sitting.
you kick us off with that one, Stephen?
Okay. Okay. She's the whole government. Okay, the whole government. Okay. Why is celibacy a thing? Okay, here's the thing. We know that there's different ranges of different people in all of the world, makes the whole world go around. But one thing that makes us all human and is a part of the freaking circle of life is procreation. And procreation involves sex. Now, for those of you who may not know, and I know all of us are grown, but just in case you don't know, celibacy is the decision to not engage in sexual activity for whatever extended period of time that you want to do it for. How in the world can you deny yourself something that you know that you have had, and 9 times out of 10, it was either decent, the good. I know we all have our bad ones, but still, it's probably more so decent and good than bad. Why is that even a decision in life that you want to make? I can't
I
see it.
mean, you have to understand something, man. A lot of times, man, you got to wash those bodies off you. You got to wash those demons off you. Like we talked yesterday, we had a conversation yesterday, and to be real honest with you, like Jennifer said, is that you are in a cycle that you feel that you continue like that drug, and you continue to go down this road with this drug.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to go cold. Sometimes you need to go cold turkey and get you together. It's not about I don't want to have no. I can't find the right person or whatever else. Because push comes to shove, anybody can have. Anybody can have sex.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you just need to just pull back and get your whole mental together, so you can be able to function personally in other situations. Sometimes you need to put sex on the back burner because a lot of times we have sex so front and center in our lives that we're not functioning the way we should be functioning in other aspects of our life.
We
So I think that's why I think celibacy is a thing, just to get yourself right.
Okay, I can fully understand that.
We
And
Again,
have
because
we got to cover a bit of.
people
Oh,
too. Yeah.
I'm sorry, say that again,
go
Jen.
ahead, go ahead,
Now I was
Jen.
going
We got
to
feedback.
comment.
Oh, okay.
So Nate said, well, it should be a thing if you're, I'm going to assume he's saying, in a really bad situation. Um, Misconceptions of spirituality. This is a question. So I don't know if
That was
he's
Russell.
That's
inferring that.
Russell.
Well, yeah. I mean, you do have. I'm going to talk about that. Let me finish reading comments.
Go ahead.
Okay, sex is a drug. It involves us as being animals, just as animals have urges to procreate, just like us humans. It's about purpose. And then Russell also said, What if they're virgins?
See,
Um,
I knew it was gonna come. I knew that was gonna come.
so celibacy and religion, right? Because that's
Mm-hmm.
what it is. It's religion. Um, I For me, it is like our chemical makeup to want to be intimate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like the comment that Nate already has down there. Like it's just in us. And it's like, why would you try to prevent something that is natural? Now, of course, we have to control it because you don't want to use it as a gateway to make bad decisions in life. But for me, when it comes to religion and celibacy, that's a control thing. Because even those people, now you all don't hear about it a lot. I went to Catholic school. Like, I kind of saw it a lot where you have actually we hear about it with some of the we've heard about this stuff in the news where these these men are in these certain positions where they're forced to not be sexually active, so they molest children, right? Or women, because the nuns do it too. We just don't hear about it as much. And so I've actually going to a Catholic school have witnessed those situations where you are forcing yourself to do something that is unnatural, which is not engage from a intimate aspect. And so because of that, you have these other urges so that now you got to try to cover it up. If that makes sense. Personally, I mean, if you need to take a break to reset, that's fine. But to just completely deny yourself of something natural, I, I don't I don't agree with it.
Hmm.
You just need to learn how to control. To me, it's all about self control, mental control, physical
Mm-hmm.
control. You have to control yourself.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's basically true. That is actually 100% true. But no, I'm not saying, but like, is it possible, like, if you control yourself, that celibacy does not have to be an option? Why is my camera frozen?
I don't know, but we got some feedback, man.
Go
Yeah, we
ahead.
do.
Go ahead.
Want to read it, Drew?
Russell says some need to bypass the goody good honey pot to get their mind right again. So true.
Mhm.
Uh, they say, yep, I went to Catholic school too, Jen. The concept of spirituality is to find balance. Yeah, all good feedback right there.
And
Seriously.
yeah, coming from two gentlemen. Well, one gentleman and a Russell. Because Russell is his own definition of an individual. I don't care. He is a good person. He is a good man. Funny, but he is his own individual. he cannot classify him, but nothing as just Russell.
It's
So,
Russell.
so if people should practice celibacy, then why is it so hard? Why is it so difficult for people to do? Why is it so? It's a challenge, and it's easy for people to go off and do other things, whether it's
because
break
because it's
their
that
celibacy,
urge.
Look at
Go ahead.
look at media today. Look at, I mean, I'm okay, not to blame it on media, but look at it today. It's to the point that, and I bring up this old little saying, since sex is easier to get, love is harder to find, in a sense. So people are like, you know what, I don't want to be dubbed as a hoe or whatever, blah 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 blah. So I'm not gonna do these things until I find someone that loves me. But since love is so hard to find, I'm not gonna give it up to anybody. So I'm just gonna keep it to myself. So some people with that particular mindset of not wanting to, I guess, appear bad in the world and their people's eyes or whatever the case may be, they will try to abstain themselves from engaging in any form of sexuality or any form of intimacy like that until they find a person who they know is going to love them, cherish them, and be with them. That's just one side that I see. And another reason why it's hard is because people who have probably done it so much and now they be like, okay, now it's they like, okay, maybe I should stop, blah 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 blah. And like Dre said, to like cleanse the demons, when you're doing something for so long, it's kind of hard to stop. That's just my take on it.
I think if you want to stop, you'll stop.
Mm. And we got
Mhm.
interesting feedback right there.
Yeah, if you want to
I'm
stop,
sorry, Jennifer.
you'll
Go ahead.
stop. There are people who have been, addicted to narcotics for years, and suddenly they said, "I need to stop," and so they stop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
But
saying that it's. I'm not
we
saying
have
that it's
more
not possible.
control. Yeah, I mean, we have more control of our mind and bodies than we like to think that we don't.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I just don't. I think trying to force yourself to do something natural, natural is how you find yourself in those bad situations in the first place. And so what we're saying is like, well, some guys need to stay away, from having sex with multiple partners. To me, then that's on a psychological level. There's something else going on with that guy.
Yeah.
He's struggling. He's struggling internally with himself. I don't think that has anything to do with women.
Mm.
Okay, this topic is supposed to be somewhat funny. This is starting to get
It
deep
was.
again.
It was.
This
It
supposed
kind
to
of
this was her
went serious.
suggestion and say we supposed to have it be. We got some in-depth stuff going on right here. I
It
feel
Man, I'm
it.
was.
telling you,
I
bro.
feel
It
it
was
again.
serious.
Okay, we just gonna call you in-depth Jen, like for real.
But yo, man, read them comments, brother.
Uh, let's see. What do we leave off at? Because I know that. Okay, I know Jen read about saying Nate going on.
Yes.
So we have Russell's
So,
right.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Okay, yeah. Sex is the ultimate drug, most readily available gateway, level 9 drug. Then Nate says our nature is by natural law is making mistakes. What the ancestors taught is to know thyself, not to perfection. Russell says the memory of it is glorified to the extent that you built up the expectation of an emotion or sensation, and some people keep humping till they
till they
you start
find it.
out
But they don't
you
find it.
start
They
out
don't find it.
everything
That's the problem.
started out so good. It sounded like something straight out of a book, and then when you get to the end, people keep humping until they find it. That's why he's classified as Russell. um
But but that's like the drug. You chasing Jason. You trying to chase back to that first high again, the
yeah.
ultimate high that you thought you had.
Yeah. But they
Hmm.
don't. They don't. But they don't never. It don't come. The first time is gone.
Yeah, the
Like
very
it's
first
that
time is
first
gone.
time, and after that is gone.
Yeah, and then they trying to keep on getting that first high, which they will never get again. So guess what? You'll never get back. Guess what? Your first nut. Nay says, I'm Jewish, and before the 12th century, we prayed like Muslims. The part of holding our left hand with our right hand over the stomach represents discipline over appetite.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
Did we talk about that yesterday? The whole chemistry of it all. So
Hmm.
Russell says sex addiction requires a detox since your body creates a chemical to varying degrees for it to happen. We talked about that yesterday.
Yes, we did. Funny how history repeats itself.
Big time, man. Big time.
Man. But okay, so I mean, I understand that, like in some cases, in most cases, celibacy is more so for a person's physical well-being, mental well-being, and or emotional well-being, and that is why they chose to make the decision. So I know I kind of said in the beginning, like, why would anybody choose not to have sex? But in all hindsight, yeah, I'm more so understand it than anything like that, because just like you need like a mental break from work, people take vacations and things like that, or you're tired from a long day, you need some rest. There's other parts of your life, and there's other points of your body that need that same type of rest. And if you having sex with Tom, Dick, and Harry, and every man having sex with every Mary, Sue, and Keita, whatever, it's time to take a break. It's time to step back and reevaluate what it is that you're doing right now. Because, and then you got some people, it's just, you're doing too much and they keep on doing it and they don't want to stop. Like, you getting a little up there in age to keep doing this kind of thing like this. This ain't teenage, early 20s no more. You damn near 40, dude. Sit down. Sit down.
Well, I have this question then, because women are taught differently. As girls, we grow up when it comes to sex, we're taught differently
Mm-hmm.
from boys and men. So why is it that men do not teach each other how to better control yourselves when it comes to sex? Because if you were to control yourself better, then you wouldn't have to worry about being addicted and, oh, I have to step back because I'm making bad choices in life. Like,
But women do the exact same thing, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
I know women do the same thing,
I'll say
but it's because of men.
Oh, come
For
on.
real.
I had to throw that.
Wow.
Hey, that's
I had to throw that in there.
that's shots fired right there. Shots fired.
But
See,
just
Nate, Nate came.
open history, like you always hear about the man being praised for having sex with all these women and stuff like that, and then let's history repeating itself. Let's look at the whole Magic Johnson situation, how he found himself with the HIV. So I mean, why isn't it that that's taught? Because now we're saying, well, you got to take a step back because you're addicted to sex, because you don't know how to control yourself. Why not try to teach that type of control as we're teaching our kids when they grow up? Like, that's something that should be taught, just like financial literacy, like how to control your body, how to control your mind, especially from that aspect, since we know that sex is very addictive because it makes us feel good, right?
Yeah, them goddamn endorphin, that goddamn dopamine. That's all I'm saying.
All right, we got some comments, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Nate says we do, Jen. I tell my son all the time. So it is being taught. It's just I can't say why it's not more common in men. Well, it appears more common in men than does women. Russell says, what they doing? They doing Tom, Dick, and Harry. And then Russell says, better control as far as question mark.
Yeah, no,
So like he's acting like better control as far as what exactly. And then Nate comes in and says it's a thin line between having experience and too much, which can mess your head up. Sorry. So Jim, what do you mean that, like, I guess Russell's asking you this question, better control as far as what exactly?
Over sex, just like mental control, because that's what it all boils down to. Controlling yourself, controlling your reactions to others. Because at this point, if you're celibate because you can't control the sex, then the sex has control over you, or other people in this case has control over you.
Yeah, I can see that. Russell says it should be taught, but many parents these days allow their kids to be raised by Hollywood and the music industry. Yeah, I was thinking kind of the same thing. I didn't want to keep on saying it's because of media and everything like that.
I mean, when you look at it, all you see, all you see is the sexual innuendos everywhere on television, social media, even what they always say, sex sells.
Mm-hmm. And
So if sex is what's selling right about now, that's what the younger ones are going to gravitate to, because that's what they're going to see always. And like you say, we need to teach our children how to prevent those urges and to be children and to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And to grow, but also know how to control those urges. But once you get a piece of it, boy, it's hard to stop with that piece. I'm just not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, because like I said, like because like you said, it's like it's like sex sales. It was like that's one of the oldest professions in history. It's prostitution.
It's the oldest profession in history.
The oldest profession is prostitution and farming and prostitution. The only thing is they both got hoes. So, but beside the point, it's just one of those things that just they know it's gonna make money. They know that's what's gonna do. I'm like, so now everybody gonna be like, oh, I want to be like him. I'm gonna be like him. He got all these he got all these bad women in his video. I'm gonna be like him. I'm gonna get everybody I can, and not knowing, yeah, you also mess yourself up because you ain't him. You ain't him. Ain't no telling what type of problems he got hiding behind the scenes. Yeah, he got all these bad women inside his video. But how many of them probably got STD that he didn't had, or how many baby mamas he got out of all of this? How much he's paying in child support that you don't know about, and everything of that nature, just because he could not control himself.
Yeah.
So, do you all think having sex with multiple partners it increases a person's personal value, or do you think it decreases their personal value? Why you laughing, right?
It's a decrease.
You think it's a decrease?
It's a major decrease because it's like you're searching for something.
Mm-hmm.
I may be wrong. I may be totally wrong on that one right there. But that's just my opinion on the
No,
situation.
I agree with you on that one. That is, it's a decrease in the value of individual because you know what it is.
I mean, but we're having multiple partners. That what are you looking for? What is it inside of you that you can't find the one that can keep you satisfied, or what aren't you satisfied with inside of you?
That's a very good question. That is a very good
Now,
question.
is that forced though? Like, is that something that's forced? Like, you should only have one partner. You should only be with one person. Is that something that is forced, or is that something that is natural?
No. Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh.
They say he'll be back in a second. He's on the phone with his son.
Okay.
Okay.
Now that right there, it's very, very difficult to say because there's different cultural aspects. One is, one has monogamy, one doesn't, and it's different variations of it. You may have one culture that's like, yes, I love my wife, I love her to death. And then you have another culture be like, bring on the harems, bring on the women.
You've been watching too much Netflix.
The funny
No,
thing is,
that's the truth.
no, that's the truth. Like you said, I watch too
No,
much Netflix. I
it's true.
barely watch
It's true.
Netflix. Thank you. But no, that is true. That's like, because you got to think about it. How many oh God, what are they called? Sultans. I was trying to think of the Middle Eastern the Middle Eastern deities names with sultans like that. How many wives or harems of women have they probably had in their span and their time of life? How many wives have English kings and had over the course of their time in rulership?
The
And
concubines.
Mhm.
and even in ancient Egypt.
Because they feel that it makes them. They feel that it increases their value
Hmm.
because they're
So
lacking value somewhere else.
so yeah. So it's a
Damn.
combination of a cultural. It's a
Okay.
huh?
See, just throwing shots right there. They're lacking.
They're lacking.
Keep throwing shots.
I'm
I,
like, he
I call
does. He doesn't please me well enough, but he has the money.
All right, man. We got content, dude. You
Yeah.
got a lot of.
Oh gosh, let's see. Because I know you said he
Bless you,
was.
sweetie.
I know you said he was on the phone. Let's see. Oh no, he texted you that. So okay. Okay. Russell said it takes two. In my experience, growing up young girls are more knowledgeable of how to use sex as a weapon and as a means to an end. I don't that okay, moving on. Um Russell just says as Steve and them same guys and girls got bonfires and they
They be hot as ever, boy. They be straight hot.
man flaming just that's what it sounds
Hot
like.
as ever.
And the Russell says at Jen varies from person to person. I guess something you said he said
The
okay.
value, the
Yeah.
value.
Okay, so
Yeah.
varies
No,
from person to person. Then Russell says it depends on how much weight or value on your body count. Yeah, yeah. Some people do. I forgot. Some people do it for a body count. Some people do just have sex with multiple people for the sake
But if
of,
you're bad,
huh?
like not like it's improving your experience, right?
Um,
Because you can be bad and still have a high body count.
yeah, because you could probably lie your way into bed. You lie your
Like,
way into
oh,
bed as long as you got in that bed, as long as you got in that bed, you be bad all day long. But hey, I got another one. Um,
So hold on. So what about? So what does that make Will Chamberlain since he allegedly slept with over 10,000 women? That increases his value or
that
decreases
may
his value?
I don't
no
think it
that no,
increases value
no, he just
at
got
all.
another record in the NBA Hall of Fame. That's all it is right there.
Mm-mm.
At all. Is he married?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if he was married or not, but he's passed.
Yeah,
He's passed. But before he
Okay.
passed, he wrote this book and said he slept with over 10,000 women in his
I,
lifetime.
I would ask him why, and like, why is that something that you're proud of? Like, if I could have that conversation, like, why is that something that you're proud of?
like I scored 100 points,
What did you gain
slept
from
with
that?
10,000 women. Yeah. Then Russell says, and what it
I'm not.
means to your own self identity.
Mhm.
Then he says at Jen, it may be taught by many. It may be taught, but many stray from teachings as soon as they get exposed to temptation.
Very, very true.
And
But
Russell
I do
says,
want to go back to Russell's comment where he's saying, where young girls are knowledgeable of how to use sex as a weapon.
yeah,
Is it the action or is it the psychology of it?
I would probably,
Mm.
if I would have to guess with Russell, it'd probably be more so the psychology of it. Like it's like women nowadays, they know what to get what they want without having to give up the honeypot, as Russell
It
said
ain't
earlier.
nowadays. Women have always known how to use sex as a psychology to get what we want.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what he's talking about, but maybe it's something different. Wait,
But what? But so why is it that okay? So if we're using sex to get what we want from men, then why does it work on you?
because we stupid.
Because
Like,
I'm
why
not going to
why
use the
why
word,
does that work on you?
we're not going to use the word stupid. We're going to use the
No,
word animalistic.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just in nature. We thinking like, okay, we found a mate who wants to procreate. So in our natural animalistic instincts, like, okay, there we go. And Russell says both. So both actually using it physically and the psychology of it. Um, but yeah, it's just like, okay, this is someone I can mate with. She accepts me. Let me get it.
Mhm.
That's just that thought without it being that thought.
Now, whoever that other person is sitting out here, howdy neighbor.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that. Because
Whoever that person is.
last time I looked up, it went down to three. So I thought it was just the three of y'all.
No, no, somebody else out there. Russell said Will Champion had that number, but the desire from the women he slept with was because of that number. So I guess he wants to continue to build on that number.
Mm.
Mhm. He said yes, but knowing how to use it from a young age is what I'm referring to.
Oh, so not just women using it, but young women knowing how to use it, which is scary. That the
But
fact
isn't
that they
that
got that
but but,
knowledge.
it, but isn't that taught?
It's taught, but why
It's
does it work? Why does it work?
because
Because it
it
works.
Why is it taught? Why is it taught?
yeah,
Because it works.
and
That's why it's taught.
and that's
Why
why
does
it's
it
taught.
work? So
And
it's like the
because they
same
know it
thing,
works.
right?
They
It's
know it
taught
works.
because it works. So why does
Yes,
it work?
because it's taught because it works, and it works because it's
It's
taught.
taught because it works.
That's what it is. It's the chicken. It's what came first, the chicken or the egg. Like yeah, it's one of those types of things. It's
It
just
definitely it definitely works. And I will say this, like I have friends who have who have boys, and they actually say, with the young girls that they're around, that they have to watch them because they're
Girls,
aggressive, right?
girls are very aggressive.
Girls are aggressive. Yes, they
They
are.
are.
I have to watch
They
my own first grade
they
because
they be doing the jump bones. Girls
they,
want to jump on.
it's just, I don't think it's the physical portion of it. It is just that I want to be desired. I think that's what it is. And so if I can find some way to use this tactic as a strategy to get you to where I want you to be, then that's what I'm going to do.
I mean, if you can go back and watch the old Little Rascals, how Darla used to always have alfalfa right around her fingers, batting her eyes and everything
Mhm.
else.
But she wasn't like trying to give him the goods. She just wanted him to like her.
Yeah, and that's just what it leads to.
And it
Hey,
works, right?
there's
He
many
was
roads lead down the same path, as they say. Many roads
Mhm.
lead down the
he
same
was he
path.
was head over heels with Darla, and so was Butch.
My
All right,
Darla.
all right, bro. So Russell said it works. But how many girls did we see in middle school with boyfriends high school age and older?
Let's talk about
Man.
Okay, hold on. But we got two other comments we need to get to. Then we go back to that one. Okay.
that.
Then Brother Nate comes and says not just the STD, but how it affects your mentality, mentally, rather say. It's harder to connect emotionally. The question is, if you have an abundance of the high, what does it affect?
Mhm.
Russell comes back and says, why should a young girl, 10, 11 years old, know how to seduce and get money or gifts? Damn.
That's scary that someone's being taught that young to do something like that.
But if you got something out there, there are. Nate says drug addicts get depressed when they can't get high because the high drained on the endorphins.
Mhm.
Russell says boys can do it too, but it's more prevalent in girls and women. Batting eyes is equivalent of tweaking in the 40s.
He's trying to say twerking.
He's trying to say twerking. Autocorrect. You gotta love autocorrect. Autocorrect. Like bat them allies like Betty Davis.
Gotcha. All right, so what you say was going back to, Jennifer?
So the girls
Tracy,
in middle school dating
going on?
boys.
What's going on?
Hey Tracy.
Tracy comes said she said Russell check the mama, especially these new breeds of mothers and grandmothers.
It's kind of hard when the mother is 20 and the grandmama 39.
Grandmama 39, grandmama 35. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, because you want to go back to how many girls did we see in middle school with boyfriends in high school age and older?
Hmm.
So
So
I,
on average, how often does men date women that are younger than them?
I
It's not
How
one
often
sided, is what I'm saying.
how, how often do women want sugar daddy?
How often do men want sugar babies? It's not one sided.
it's not, and that's definitely right.
All I'm saying is that, and it's not the whole physical thing, it's the psychology of it. It does work. It works. But why does it work? No one has answered that question.
Because it's just one of those things
But
that
I know
just
it works.
it's one of
But
those
why
things
does it
that
work?
just happens how it happens. We can't. It's like one of those things we can't explain how it works. We just know that it does, and that's just the crazy part about it,
I have a
right?
married lady over here. I'm about to ask her.
And like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess Granny be all of 28 years old. Russell.
And is that unnormal? I mean, is that like abnormal? So if we look at on average throughout this entire world, at what age does women start having children? At what age do they become grandmothers, is it abnormal? Is it? Is it abnormal to be a teenager?
Being that young, in a sense, on
I mean,
average.
hold up. We can't say it's abnormal because our ancestors were having babies at the age of
Exactly.
14, 15, 16. They was
Exactly.
having babies very, very young.
So being a granny at 35 is not unusual.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct. I mean, it's just that it's not it's looked upon differently than what it was back then.
Yeah.
But is it though? Like you can look at other countries as
Huh.
well. Like they have
But
kids very young too, and by the time they're in their 30s, they're grandparents. That's
okay,
in other countries as well.
I get
Not
that,
just, yeah.
but
In
with our
modern
right,
in modern day.
right, but not ancestors, our ancestors. A lot of them was, they were 15, 16, but they're married to somebody 35.
Yeah.
And that's the craziest part about it was that, you know, yeah, they were married. You are true. You're very true, Tracy. Yeah, they were married back in the day. But when you always look at it, you have the older guys, the older males, and the younger women. And so I guess that's true today as well, as you're saying, Jennifer, with the age differential. But what's up, Auntie Peaches? How you doing now?
Hey, Auntie Pages. That's my Auntie Pages right there, y'all.
Man, go ahead. We got some feedback, y'all.
Then Tracia then follows up and says, like, yes, but Dre, but back then they were married or got married when they were young. Uh,
Hmm.
then my auntie comes in and says it has come back full circle from slavery times. Women were bred young. Yeah, they were. They were. Russell just says it works because some men are willing to do whatever they can to even have the option of smelling the cookie, let alone being able to believe they have a chance to hit. Like I just want to smell the chocolate chip. Let me smell it. The Russell says life expectancy is much longer now than it was then. True enough. True enough. My auntie says hey to everybody. My auntie say hey to everybody in the internet.
Cool, cool, cool. But the thing is that when we're talking about it, you have like we said, we have 15, 16-year olds, but we was also having that with grandparents and everything else, and the ancestors were doing the exact same thing now. But like you say, it was looked upon differently because they were married, true enough. But now you have these young girls they are barely out of eighth grade, seventh, eighth grade, having these children, and it's like I feel that our ancestors were more ready to raise the children, ready to be moms than a lot of these young girls. Maybe that's my ignorance, but it's just the way I feel. What you guys say, Jen?
I don't know if I would say if they were ready versus they were forced into it. Like
Gotcha.
they didn't have a choice.
Mm,
Okay.
like he old
And then so
shotgun man.
even with these young girls, because let's keep it funky now. And now we know we got a few minutes, but child molestation in the Black community is prevalent. It's heavy. It's just not talked about. And so now we got to think about we got these young girls who's in seventh and eighth grade who in their family been touching on them because that comes from somewhere.
True
It's
enough.
not they weren't just born and all of a sudden you know they out here doing all this stuff. It comes from somewhere, and so it does date back to history. And I can't even say the Black community, period, because I know many of women of many ethnicities that I have met throughout my life who experience the same things in their culture. So I can't even say in the African American community. It is not just to us. It's just period. But
Correct.
if these young girls are doing this, then where did it come from? Like it comes from somewhere. And so those are some things that we need to keep in mind. And so again, even with those people, and I'm just gonna just shed some insight on this based on one of my career experiences. So I've asked, why is it that you all mate with each other, right? So same sex, because the women are always covered up, and unless you have money, you can't see them.
Mm,
So you're forced again. tying it back to the title, you're forced to do something that is what is natural to you. Because you can't do what's natural to you, you go and do something else.
Gotcha.
Try and curb that natural feeling. Just like you mentioned earlier about people back in Catholic school and stuff like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
But
See,
you want to know something, really, Jennifer? You made a very interesting point about who's touching these little girls. But we've had these. But the thing is that we need to break that generational curse because little girls have been touched in Africa, have been touched for a very long time,
mhm.
and it just hasn't been spoken about. It's just
Mm-hmm.
not happening. That's their little family secret
Mm-hmm.
that they keep. Oh, that's just Uncle Pete. Don't leave that girl around Uncle Pete too long. Stay away from Uncle Pete. Never
Okay.
leave the kid. Because you already know he be touching. And
Yep.
that's just that family. That's that family secret that people don't want to talk about.
Mhm.
That you really need to, excuse my language, fuck Uncle Pete up. Uncle Pete needs to be in jail, and that baby needs to go to counseling. And the whole family needs to go to counseling to get to make sure that baby is all right.
Mhm.
So the thing is that we as people are not protecting our younger ones the way they should be protected. And that's why we get a lot of this promiscuity. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Promiscuity.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that's why it's always out there. And it's like because they have it already. And they and so they a lot of times you take some of that self worth away from them. And this is the only way they may feel even worthy. I'm done.
All right.
The mystery of the unknown. You got that right, Russ.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Uh,
so we
uh,
supposed to laugh and we supposed to laugh this
Man,
conversation off.
I only laughed like 3 times this whole segment.
But hold up, man. We got some feedback. Go ahead, bro.
All right. My auntie says I see a lot of this in my line of work. A little girl in kindergarten was pleasuring herself in class. She learned that from some what? Okay.
Okay, true enough. She learned that from someone,
Yeah.
but who did it to her?
Who did it to her?
Yeah.
That
That's the
she
main
with that
question.
feeling.
Who taught her? Because that was
There
taught.
you go. There you go. She can sit there and you can see it all you want to, but someone actually taught her that, and that's why she.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't get paid for YouTube just yet, but we gotta hold off on that one right there because this could be a demonetized video if it ever does get to that point. After that line right there. Um, that's crazy though. That yeah, someone definitely did something or taught her something that they should not have taught or done to that child. Period. Point blank. Uh, so she would probably be one of those 13-year-old mothers.
She probably won't. We won't put her in that category. But still, I mean, it comes from somewhere. Is all I'm saying.
You know?
Yes, it does.
Come out the air. It came from somewhere.
Yeah. Let's hope that don't happen. Period. Point blank. Oh man. Like I said, we were supposed to laugh in this. We were supposed to laugh.
We were supposed to laugh.
This was not a laugh like 3 times this whole segment. Everything
Yeah,
else has just been like
this was been a funny episode. But
Yeah.
hey,
everything
It
else was
became.
like I'm like what? Okay, so I guess next time when we come to you guys live, we'll try and find a topic that we can maybe laugh about. If if in depth Jen don't get too in depth in it, then we might be able to laugh a little bit. Because
I did not
because the
think
thing
like that.
that
That was great.
I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I'm busting Jen out right now. She hit us up in our group chat, and she basically said we're gonna find something funny. Like, what do you have in mind? She gave us all these topics. I'm like, okay,
every damn thing was serious.
the
All
celibacy.
was serious.
I'm thinking like, man, maybe the celibacy one, this one right here, we got some fun with, laugh with, joke with. No, no, no. I laugh more in a Lifetime movie than I did this right now.
Oh, you guys are no, Steve, no, no, no. That's all we get, man. Mm,
Man,
mm, mm.
all I could do was sit here and think like, damn, that makes sense. Like, damn, that makes sense. But the thing is, like, that's all
That
that
is
happens out the whole rest of the show.
that is true, Russell. Kids these days are very smart, and they can Google and find anything they want to find out.
But the thing is, they have to find that somewhere. Something happened or they seen it
They gotta get
somewhere
access.
for them to look it up. You're not going to look up something until something is brought to your attention about it. I don't care what day and age of modern.
What is a blue waffle?
I have no clue. I don't even want to know right now.
No, 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 no. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like I said, this is the kind of stuff until something is told to you, you do not want to look it up. Something was told to me about this. I looked it up. Don't do it.
Okay, I will look it up.
Don't do it.
Why my eyes gonna turn blue?
Your eyes may not, but your stomach may do.
Okay, you looking at it, Dre?
I'm trying to figure out what it is, but
No, bro, don't do it. Like, man, bro, if I ever tell you to not do something for the first time in life, man, this is something I'm telling you not to do. Don't do it. Y'all know I'm like the curious one out of all of us. When something says look up something, I look it up. Like, no, don't do it.
What's a blue waffle?
Don't asking. She's asking. She don't know. Like, she'll turn to her fake friends. Like, what's the blue waffle?
What's the blue waffle? Yeah.
it's a vaginal infection.
Yeah, and it's a bad
Oh
one.
hell!
I told you, man.
A vaginal infection?
Yeah, see. Look, he was up. Told you don't look it. I told you don't look at it. Told you do not look at it. Y'all don't listen to me. Nobody listens to me. When I tell you don't look at something, don't fucking look at it. You know what? I had it.
I can't unsee that right now.
I told you. I told you.
He was like,
I cannot unsee that right now. Oh my goodness! And I
okay,
had glasses on too right there. Oh god!
I will not scream. Look at it.
Please don't.
In the brains. Oh my god!
I told you. I
I'm looking at-
forgot all about that until I seen the words like, oh no, don't
Don't
do
even
it.
want to look.
Don't do it. So that's it for this episode. We're gonna leave this mug right here. I don't know what to say, what to do, what to think anymore. Because I know probably whomever is gonna watch this video is probably don't know what that is, and they probably gonna look it up. And if y'all do look this up, just like my big bro up here, I apologize.
Check your phone.
Right? I'm scared. I feel
Check
like
your phone.
training or something.
Did you send that?
Check your phone, Jennifer.
Oh gosh. Okay. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Russell, Brother Nate, Tracy, and my auntie Peaches right there, also known as Jay Grace. Appreciate you tuning in. Carmen, who was here for a little bit. She was the first one to comment. Can't believe
Did it pop in?
I didn't even press. I'm scared.
Don't press the button. Don't be the opposite of the girl from Rush Hour. Don't press the goddamn button. Okay, that one I don't know what that is, but we're not gonna look that up either. Continuing on, so like I said, thank you everybody for watching. Like I said, if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell. It lets you know when we go live. We go live at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Tuesdays and or Thursdays, depending on how my schedule is for the week. We trying to get that adjusted and work this out as best as we can. Still working on that. Again, if you don't know your time zones, like I always say, look up the Windy City. You'll know what time it is. But before we go, Dre, Jen, anything y'all want to say?
Love on your people. Life is too short. Love on your people.
And love yourself.
Y'all heard it here. Love on your peoples and love yourself. And you know what I say? You all have a beautiful night. Don't look up what a blue waffle is. And as always, stay insightful. Peace.
Peace out. Peace out.
Oh my gosh.